Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to the Banished Vault, where we're going to take another swing, or maybe a couple, at this. So here we go, here's the seed, and begin. Lear Hut. Okay, that's an interesting system. So... Strength 5 Faith Loss Hazard. Before the only place that we could get carbon from. Carbon dioxide. And yeah, okay. Well. Gosh, some high energy transits too, huh? So in theory, water, titanium, iron, and silica on what looks like a fairly large planet. That's pretty great for us, right? If we... What's the transit cost? There's an 11 and then another 5. And it's only thrust 1. In fact, nothing here is more than thrust 1. Yeah, it's interesting. So we definitely won't need those. I'm not sure with this ship. Let's figure out some stuff with the smaller ships first. Let's figure out some initial establishment type stuff with the other ships. So the first thing I would be inclined to do is to take our supply of iron down to this world and kind of feel things out, right? We need to figure out what's going on there. Then we're going to want carbon run from beyond the chaotic orbit. And that's going to be a little bit of a trick, right? We're definitely going to only want to use Sava. Again, generated a lot of cool exile portraits this time. We're definitely going to only want to use Sava to go get that stuff. And if Sava is producing... It's 2 iron to build a CO2 thing. See, this is a little tricky because, like, you might need to also build a resource, like a, what do you call it? The thing that lets you get resources that are buried. So, because you do need a lot of CO2. Yeah, let's see if we can get started here. And then I think for the moment... The plan's gonna be... Yeah, we can probably share fuel between the air decad and... I wish that these had... Am I allowed to rename my ships? I wish that these ships had in their description an indicator of which ship they are, which kind of ship, so I could see, like, or just, you know, a number of cargo slots, something to help me differentiate them before I have learned the names of the ships on a new run, especially since it does frequently recycle names from run to run. But, like, we're only gonna need... Sorry, I did this backwards, I think. We're only gonna need 3 fuel on this ship to make it here, right? It's an 11 and then a 7. Yeah. Okay, so... The air decad is probably just going to sit here. Or here, probably. And we'll just ferry resources to it. I mean, I guess with the very small amounts of fuel we're talking about... Yeah, maybe we could go ahead and bring the heavy engine. It could come down, maybe not at first. What does it cost to generate 16 thrust? Okay, so if we wanted to just go to here, we have to generate 11. We won't be able to make the first jump with this engine. And the thing is, I don't want to like lose cargo space. It's fine. We can do ferries. It's fine. Yeah, so we'll have one person pilot this. You go to the planet's surface, and you are taking the other stack of fuel and going to fucking the distance. What are we actually doing here? So 16 gets me... This is a little awkward. Everything's just like just the wrong amount of distance. But there's a 6 there. Yeah, this is awkward. May as well take the water. So we make the plan. The air myriad is landing here, trying to set up. We'll see what the surface looks like. If this is not viable, we can always move the whole operation over to here instead. And if we move the whole operation over to here, we don't have as easy access to silica, which is a little bit of a bummer, but we have a methane, like the person who's on, we could leave a person on the air decad in orbit to operate a methane pump. Otherwise, we're probably going to ferry the person down from the air decad pretty quickly so we can have 3 people on the planet's surface, because it is only 2 actions per exile per turn, and we're gonna have a lot of time. We're gonna have a lot of trouble generating much in the amount of time we have here. This is a scary one just because of how close the planet is, honestly. Ugh. Yeah, all right. So yeah, it's gonna be something like that. You are just headed for the planet's surface. Fingers crossed. You are headed for here, but you're probably doing it in more manageable chunks. A 4 to there, and then a 2 to there. Or we can just spend the whole thing and go now. We may as well, right? Just go the whole way in one move. And gosh, I sure hope stuff works out, because otherwise, you know, we are in fact out of fuel. I think so I don't do this. If I go 3, if I jump to here, then I make it to here for 1 more fuel. I won't make it to here on 3 fuel otherwise. Yeah, let's take it the slow way, I guess. So we don't know exactly what we're up against. All right, show me something workable. Oh my god, the planet's tiny and everything's buried. And strength 6, lose all building resources? So what we would end up doing here is building... We would go like resource excavator, water, fuel. Do we even have room for those things? Like, this would be 1. You have to put it like here. Then the water thing goes here, and we can't build fuel output. Yeah, the water thing goes here. So the resource excavator. All right, I mean, the water harvester doesn't have a choice, right? The water harvester goes here. Ah, it won't let me plan it, which is annoying. Neither of so there are 2 locations, if this is here. There are 2 locations we can build the resource excavator in, and neither one of them allows us to build a fuel thing on this planet's surface. So this run's already shot because we've already spent all the fuel. Criminy, y'all. All right, I'm going to drop a little cut in here because there is a thing I forgot to take care of before I started recording. But we'll be right back, taking another quick look at another start. And if that one proves to be like impossible too, then maybe we will we'll crank one of the sliders back just to make this something we can get started on. We'll see. I'll see you in just a moment. Okay, sorry about that small amount of irresponsibility. Let's go ahead and yeah, we'll just go ahead and retire this journey. Those pilgrims got at by the gloom well before they wrote even a single damn thing. So We're gonna try one more shot at these. If we do end up having to roll some stuff back, I am much more interested in experiencing the intense solar system difficulty. So we could then I am like committed to these things. So we could start with some resources to give us a little bit of juice at the beginning. Like the difference here is not that much. For elixir lets you get a scriptorium or two off. Yeah, but we're gonna try hard moding it like 1 or 2 more times. We'll see. Falhuit. You have encountered a young star with newly formed planets. Interesting. Okay. So, seeing a dearth of water here. There's some water all the way down there. Or all the way over here. And I guess it is worth noting that almost all these transits are 0 energy. Like, these asteroids are real close together. The chaotic orbit's a bummer, but also it is only strength 3. Whereas this would be 5 and 3 and 3. Yes, I think we want to check these ones. Also worth noting, I think this is the first time we've seen this. The deeper branch actually has a lower action refresh rate than the branch above it. So that's weird. Okay, so we don't have much to start with. And this is definitely a cause of some considerable trouble for us. Thrust 1, I'm assuming, yeah, this'll all be thrust 0, very efficient flight. So I kind of want to send the big ship out to here, right? But we got to get a little bit of titanium. Because we're going to have to set up a fuel thing somewhere. So it's easy enough for one of the small ships to make it to here to sort of check what we're all about here. Rib 11 can take, I don't know, the low faith exiles. And no iron. Holy crow, actually, iron is a real problem. There is a single source of iron in the entire solar system. And it's locked behind this high spin here. We have, in theory, enough iron to do a very small amount of building. So, like, here's where we're at. The big ship needs... The big ship needs the highest faith pilot. For sure. Probably the smallest engine, because again, we're gonna have the same fuel problems we always have. The Font Hexad brings with it some amount of iron. There'll be some here, but we need some to guarantee that we'll have the ability to mine. And then we're also going to need a titanium. So I think this ship Yeah, it's going to be 3 fuel. We could give them enough to get back. But frankly, if they have to get back before the Font Hexad returns, then we're dead anyway. So the Font Hexad, oh, and the and Rib 11 definitely takes the rest of the iron. Because we could, in theory, get the basics of construction set up here. Oh no, we want more fuel than this, because they're going to have to land and then shuttle some stuff back up to the Font Hexad, because the Font Hexad will not have a point of thrust. So they need to have 2 fuel to finish the movement. All right, the Font Hexad will have to make... What is this? It's 21 fuel altogether. We know we want to stop here. All right, we want to stop here and see if titanium will get brought back up to us. So... we can go 1 to here, and then it's 8 is the next one. So it'll be 3 fuel to get to here. If we do, we may as well just... we want to pay the whole 3 at once. Okay. So 3 fuel. Then from there, we have to make a 12 energy move to get to here. So that puts us on 7 usage. Or wait. We actually want to go down here. So 16 fuel. Or 16 energy, or we do the 12 energy move to here, and then we perform another 11 energy move. No, we just pay the 6. So that gets us to here. So we're already talking about a whole stack. Then from here, it's a single fuel use will get us to there. It'll take 2 more to get us to there. So we're probably not bringing 3 ships. I think that ends up being the thing that makes sense. And if we're gonna do that, we should split the faithful in case of planetary hazards. Yeah, so for right now, the ship is headed here, as is the Portal Chiliad. Sorry, that's right. I was going to go all the way to the planet's surface with the first move. Okay. I like this thing where the first couple branches have no turn weights. That's really cool. All right, titanium. The titanium and the carbon are easily accessible, and this is a big planet. So, we're going to have to do a little bit of other scouting. But on the whole, this is really good. This is a really good outcome. We're taking 1 titanium back up. Yeah. For the fuel processor. Yeah. Okay. So, and then we would want to build a titanium harvester all the way over here, and also a CO2 harvester right there, and then we can just get started. All right, you will take a fuel up to them, or you'll take a titanium up to them. Cool. And then you will return to the planet with your final fuel, and you will await either the success or failure of your comrades, whichever seems more likely to occur. All right, and they have work to do while the rest of this is ongoing. So we want to make the 16 all at once. That is a couple of turns of travel time. Fingers crossed, y'all. Okay. Artifacts we don't care about. Also, the planet's hallowed for all the good that's going to do us. All right. Generate resource stacks. You two. We are headed to Irontown. Oof. Scary stuff. Alright, we need to see A6. We have 6 dice. Alright, we made it on the first one. What's it look like here? It is tiny, but conditions exist for iron harvesting to occur. We cannot do anything else here, but we can do this. I don't want to have to make that transit more than the one more time we have to get out of here. So let's produce some iron, shall we? All right, go to 2 full stacks of titanium to start with. How much iron do we want to leave with? This is a good question. You need iron to make alloy. We're probably not going to get to make that much alloy. And of course, time is always limited. 3 stacks should be so much that we probably are leaving some behind, right? And I'm fine with that outcome. Alright, so now we make carbon dioxide while we wait. Alright. Here we go. It takes 2 of our 3 remaining fuel to make it over here. But it's worth noting, we can land on these 3 asteroids without spending any more fuel. There's titanium here. I might not have needed the titanium passover. I might have been kind of a waste. Well, we'll see. Oh, come on. 6. Alright, we got an A6. Hopefully we never have to go back there. Now we just need a 3, which is much more likely to occur. Tell me there's enough room. Of course not. Of course not. But... oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? I did the thing. I did the thing I always do. I left that guy behind on that planet. Alright. That's on me, friends. So will it really? Yeah, okay. Well, let me make that maneuver. Okay. Alright, who's annoyed? I'm annoyed. Who am I annoyed at? Same person as always. Now I gotta go fix my mistake. Missing navigator. I tried to do it again. And at least this time the game wouldn't let my dumbass do it. I had to make the dangerous transit 2 additional times. Because I'm spacey. All of those 6s, all of those dice were 6s, and then they became not 6s anymore. The good news is, we actually lost 0 faith for some reason, and we lost all actions when we had 0 actions left. So that's pretty cool. Wouldn't necessarily expect that to work that way. I feel like we're going to need more titanium than carbon dioxide. Get your ass on the ship. Failed it twice in a row. It once again did not affect faith. So the potential outcomes are not, it's not each of these things happens, it's each of these things is a possibility. So we got supremely lucky the first time. Because obviously it would have been very bad to lose all of our, to lose any faith instead of losing actions when we were already at 0 actions remaining. This is so much water. Yeah, but we got to bring back a lot of fuel, right? Okay, while we're at this, we do have to bring back some silica as well. It takes a little bit of fuel to get to the silica thing, but I guess we should go have a look. There's a little more planet here. Because the alloy producer is going to need silica. Do we have enough resources to bring back a bunch of silica for alloys? Let's bring back a stack. We're gonna need to produce 1 at least. But what if we can make a stack? Because a stack of alloys will go a really long way. Maybe I should have brought 3 people with me on this journey. We turn all the water into fuel. Oof. Wish we had more fuel. Wish we had more room. Wow. Wait a second. It's like she wants to leave everybody behind. Okay, I was making sure that was the one I wanted to go to. I have no interest in transporting water. Okay. So how much fuel exactly is coming back with us? Is it 4 full stacks? Should we drop this silica? Oh, we do have to bring water back. What am I talking about? We absolutely have to bring water back. So yeah, we definitely can't afford to carry any more silica than that. Maybe this is what we cart back? That's enough water to make 1 stack of stasis. No, we need more water than that. So I think we're losing a stack of iron as well. We're just going into the next area with 1 stack of iron. I think so. Because we got to try to produce enough stasis. Yeah, we got to try to produce enough stasis to give ourselves some stability. So, make sure we put you back in the ship. So, back to here. So we do a 2 fuel jump and then a 16 fuel jump. Right, I think that's what makes sense. So let's do the 2. Did I leave behind? I did leave behind fuel. Okay. Well, moving back to here doesn't really change much. We'll just use one of your actions to do it. Because obviously I want him piloting across the... Okay, there we go. I want him piloting across the hazard. I spent a fuel there because I just like spend 1 fuel even though I absolutely didn't have to. And I have no doubt that that is what happened with the resources the other time too. So yeah, it is going to be more efficient to make this all at once. We'll do it with you in charge. Okay. So now you're going to wait, they don't have any fuel. How did I do this math in a way that led to them having no... Okay, it's fine. It's fine. This is a no turns travel. It's a little awkward, but it's fine. So... I mean, really, this is the only option, right? I mean, I'd love to do a 14, but in this ship, that's a lot. We do have to do at least a 9. Yeah, rough. That's a lot. You guys get to just produce for another turn while we wait. There's no way we're going to make use of all these resources. Okay, so we need to build an alloy producer. Tucked away down here in the corner. We need to produce at least one alloy. Then we need to make a stasis producer. Okay. We have the resources to produce 2 stacks of stasis. That's got to be the highest priority right now. Okay, we get to live until the next system. So let's go ahead and load that shit into the font hexad right now. That's coming back with us. I guess it could go in the Rib 11. The Rib 11's not going to carry back much stuff. Alright. Now, we definitely want to produce additional alloys, right? We have the resources on hand to produce 5 alloy. If we do that, we have no iron for going home. However, I think I'm 100% fine with that. 5 alloy is going to give me some important tools for later. All right. I think I'm running the font hexad back to pick up more resources. I think I'm making this transit again. So let's see here. I guess you want to do this in a couple of steps, right? We want to go to here. So wait, it's either to here for 2, and then 4, 10, 17, which we actually cannot do. How much fuel does the other ship need to get back? 7, and so what? 3. Okay. With this much fuel, we can just run back and grab more stuff, including more fuel. The important work here is already done. So, do I just take 3 people in the font hexad to gather other resources as quickly as possible? And have the Rib 11 just return to the ship right now? I think maybe. And it can take back, you know, a stack of something else too. You can bring back a stack of titanium for later. Yes, I think that that is what we are going to do. So, with 16 fuel, sorry, with 15 fuel, like I said, we have to make a transit of either 17 or 16 total value. So 13. We have just enough fuel to make it. Right? If I do 2 fuel to get us to here, which it does not. Shit, that's right. 1 fuel doesn't get us off the planet. It's 2 fuel to here versus 3 fuel to there is what we're trying to figure out. And a 2 fuel to here, 3 fuel to E5 would mean that we have 12 fuel remaining, which is not enough to make the remaining 16-point journey. But we can't break it up any more than that. So what we have to do instead then is we just have to take more of the fuel. Constia, you don't get to go home yet. Sorry there, pal. You need to wait on the planet's surface producing titanium. Because the big ship needs all the gas. Inefficiency. It's probably not worth taking the time to go back and get the other engine. I could have transported the other engine with us here. I probably should have. I was thinking maximize carrying capacity, but I should have looked at the amount of time left and known that I was going to want to make another trip. I think at this point it's too late. So we got 3 fuel to here. And then we have to make at least 16 happen. And if we're doing that, we can make it all the way to here on a single move. And from there, we can actually use single boosts to get places. Okay. Always need more titanium, right? Alright, so Mare takes us to here. Get across that chaotic orbit again. So each stack of water is 3 stacks of fuel. Which means we need at least this much water. And I guess technically we should keep pounding out titanium, but it's, you know, hard to imagine it'll matter. Seven turns. We have like a 1-turn buffer. Ooh, that's a different way than that usually looks. Huh. Okay. Need all this fuel? I don't know, probably. Fuel's pretty good. I'm a little concerned about survival for sure. Why do you ask? I suppose I should finish. You know, we were already on Constia and we know what Constia's turn looks like. So let's just go ahead and knock that out. All right. Try to take some other stuff back with us, right? This is the whole point of this journey. Obviously, picking up fuel matters, but also other stuff. So, there's no sense in bringing back less than a stack of silica. If you're bringing back any silica, bring back the whole lot, right? That's not where I meant to click. Do not spend fuel unless you have to. This time you do actually have to. Okay. All right. Then the last thing to do is to decide, do we just head back now? Or do we try to bring back another stack of iron? Do we drop a stack of fuel for a stack of iron? It's gonna be half a stack of fuel by the time we get there. Obviously, it will necessitate 2 high spin rolls. Probably not, right? We just brought back enough. Oh, I should bring back a stack of water. That's what we should bring back instead of that other stack of fuels. I should bring back a stack of water. So yeah, let's do that. We do actually have to spend fuel here. Trying very hard to make sure nobody gets left behind. It's the thing that it happens embarrassingly frequently. Alright, let's get out of here. So, back to here in a single fuel. With our high faith pilot getting us through the chaotic orbit, almost certainly. 6 successes, no less. Alright, then we gotta make it all the way back to here, which sucks a ton. We get this step for free if we're doing that. Well, not for free, but you know, it costs 1 fuel either way. So we may as well take it. 14 of our fuel gone. All right. Here we go. So first things first, stack of fuel to the Rib 11. Second, we can produce some more resources. And we probably should, right? Alright, so load that in here. This gets loaded up. The alloy producer is iron, titanium, silica. We could produce more. We could produce more alloy, and it behooves us to produce more alloy. Right, at the very least, we want to have the 8 for the scriptorium when we leave here. And if more has to wait, then more has to wait. But at the very least. So. Okay. Anything else? We're probably cutting into vital iron supplies. Plus, if we leave right now, we have a bunch of titanium. I'm not going to pretend that we're not hobbling, but it's a start. And it's 27 stasis. Means we don't have to worry about stasis for 2 more systems. So we can build if we have a place where we can build, or we can focus on our other problems if we are in a place where that makes more sense. We do not have a lot of time to fuck around. But it might be good to go ahead and build a little bit more alloy. Just to... I'm going to do one more. It doesn't actually matter who does it. Okay. You're piloting. You're piloting. Just grab the titanium and get out of here. With exactly everything. Alright, so... the Rib 11 has no problem making the transit. One fuel to here. 2 fuel to there. And we're gone. It's going to be a little bit more expensive. So it's 1 fuel to here. And then 10 energy left. It's more than I would like, if I'm honest. 2 fuel to here, sorry. And then... what's the difference between 9 and 10? It is only a single point of fuel. Yeah, alright. That is technically a system that we survived. It doesn't feel amazing. This is actually less fuel than we started with. But we have some other resources. We're not as, like, totally desperate for sources of titanium. And stasis. We have stasis. What we did not grab was... shoot. I think the resources, the artifacts that are available here are garbage. And we didn't have any extra inventory spaces, so I guess, yeah, it's fine. Alright, let's just go ahead and hibernate. Let's get out of here. Well, we made a little bit of progress. A new personal best. The star Felifet, a dust system of asteroids. Okay. No scriptorium for us, but the good news is also no thrust requirements. Pretty high actions across the board. We can work here. We can do some things here. We could potentially gather some methane. So elixir production is silica and methane based. We're gonna need to set up a fuel depot. Without question. Strength 6 unstable gravity makes this water like pretty unsafe. This water looks like it's a lot safer. It is behind some heavy glass though. All right, we're definitely on those engines. Well, let's start with that. Let's start with the water thing. That silica asteroid looks bigger than the water asteroid. My guess is we're not going to have room for fuel on the water asteroid itself, or for the fuel constructor. So there's an iron asteroid in the same area. If we bring a titanium out with us, and I guess the stack of iron, we could potentially produce a lot of water and fuel very quickly. We could gather silica, we could gather iron, and then we take them back up here to do methane work, or even down here. The transit costs, well, this branch sucks. I was going to say the transit costs aren't bad at all, but that's not true. But even if all we did here was leave with a bunch of iron and fuel, I think that would be okay. So I'd really like to bring all of the ships down if we can. Just really like load up. So... Whew, okay, hopefully that was a lone hiccup. So what, it's 10 to make it to here, it's 15 to make it to there. Hate that. Hate those numbers. Yeah, but like 10 to here. I think this is going to make sense. So 4 fuel to make it to that stop. And then from there, 3, 5, 3. So 11 to here. Or 17, geez. Yeah. So be another 4 fuel to here. With Mare driving, I don't think this hazard's a problem. So it'd be 4 and 4, and then 4 to make it to here. From there, it gets pretty light. But that is 12 fuel that has to be devoted. 13 fuel, really, to make sure that we have the ability to get to one of the other planets, leaving 5 fuel for the rest of the ships. Now, one of the other ships could certainly make this trip faster, but I think we will not have enough fuel to bring all 3 ships out. So let's see here. We'll need 2 fuel to make it to there. Right. 2 fuel to put us here, 3 fuel to put us here, and we could have a 4 Faith Exile driving this ship. 4 fuel to put us here. And then nope, we kind of can't actually do anything. Maybe this has to be everybody? We load 3 people in here, and then... Because, like, what else am I going to do? I guess it's only 2 fuel to make it to this methane asteroid. What's the methane producer cost us? A single iron? We can even go so far as to give you 2 iron in the Rib 11. You just make methane. Yeah, 2 iron in case we have a... Well, it can't, though. It can't have a depth problem. Or rather, if it does have a depth problem, we wouldn't be able to fix it. And in that case, you won't need 5 fuel. You'll need 2 to get out here and 2 to get back. Yes, maybe one extra is a good idea in case I want to do something. In case I want to, modify the plan some. Leave the extra fuel on this one. Yeah. All right, everybody else in the font hexad, and let's get going. Sorry, that's the wrong. It's on me. Okay. There's a bunch of really expensive maneuvers. This sucks a lot. Alright, it is exactly what it needed to be. Alright, time to produce extremely large quantities of methane. Please do not whiff this hazard. It would be very embarrassing. And probably run-ending, actually. Alright. 12 more fuel. Well, hold on. If I do... I miscalculated somewhere. Wait, how did I think this was going to be less? Because if it takes us the full 4 fuel to get here, then we're dead, right? Because I need to be able to get to one of the other asteroids. Because we have to assume this asteroid won't be large enough to let us build on. I might have screwed this up. Might have been one little bit of bad math killed us. Well, I guess we'll see what it looks like. Yep, that kills us. You couldn't build the fuel thing here if you wanted to. So we're just out of fuel. And we're out of fuel. And we're out of fuel. Okay, so like head in hands and all, because obviously that's me miscounting. It is entirely possible that these other asteroids wouldn't have supported the fuel thing either, but putting this one fuel on this ship would have at least given us a chance, and I totally miscounted a route somewhere. I thought we were going to be okay. I probably forgot to include a branch or something silly like that. Phooey. Okay, well, I think that's going to be it for us for today, because this run's dead. When you come back next time, we are gonna dial it back a little bit. I think that the allowances here are maybe just a little too tight. So I will figure out exactly what I want to pull back on, and we'll see you then.